All right, we are going to be reading an article from Scholastic Action today called Can This Baby Orangutan Be Saved? Gerhana was left starving in the rainforest. Meet the team of humans who raced to save his life. Gerhana lay in the dirt, sick, starving, and alone. Death was closing in. Just a few months earlier, the baby orangutan had been a healthy newborn. He clung to his mother's side. They lived in the bright green rainforest of Borneo, an island in Southeast Asia. All around them, the jungle was bursting with life. Flying squirrels glided from tree to tree. Giant lizards ran across the forest floor. Each night, Gerhana and his mother returned to their leafy nest. They snuggled together high in the treetops, but then one day, disaster struck. Gerhana's mother was killed, and Gerhana was left to survive in the wild on his own. Okay, pause and think. Who is Gerhana? So Gerhana is the main subject of our story. This is a picture of him right here. That's Gerhana. What happened to his mother? It said that his mother was killed, leaving him alone. Okay, here's a quick video about Gerhana.
This is Gerhana. This was Gerhana. 1 year ago, the orphaned orangutan arrived at the Four Paws Forest School in Borneo in a critical condition. Since being under the care of the animal welfare organization Four Paws, he has started to recover quickly. He is very active and climbs higher and higher every day. An unbelievable feat, since there is a bullet embedded in his left shoulder.
Oh.
Shortly after Gerhana's arrival, Andini, the on-site vet, performed a routine health examination. She was shocked to discover the bullet and immediately contacted Dr. Signe Proyshoft, a primatologist at Four Paws with over 20 years of experience.
There's a river bullet in his, not his thorax, under his skin.
Yeah.
Okay,
so then it means it's somewhere here, yeah, in the shoulder. Lucky didn't hit the vertebra, yeah.
Yeah.
But it could be like his mother was shot at, and he also collected one bullet, and then he healed, but perhaps his mother did not heal because she had more bullets in her body.
Yeah. We didn't see any sign or pain and didn't find any wound or
It's
scar.
completely healed already.
Fortunately, the injury had already healed, so the vet decided not to remove it.
Gerhana is still very small, so he will go to forest school here in this area for a couple of years, maybe until he's at least 6. If he doesn't become very adventurous, he could stay, I don't know, until 8 or so. He will stay here, he will explore the forest, he will eventually be promoted to sleep in a night cage with his friends. But alone outside, he will get used to the noises in the night.
After losing his mother and being shot, little Gerhana is now under the protection of the Four Paws Forest School. When he graduates, he will have all the necessary skills to become fully independent, and the Four Paws team can release him into the wild.
Aw, poor baby Gerhana. Shrinking homes. Gerhana and his mother were affected by deforestation. Since the 1980s, about 30% of Borneo's rainforests have been cleared by humans. Hundreds of millions of trees have been cut down to make way for coal mines and palm oil farms. Palm oil is found in many products, from pizza dough to toothpaste. Why is deforestation such a problem? Orangutans survive on the fruit and plants of the rainforest. When rainforests are cut down, they don't just lose their homes, they also struggle to find food. So deforestation is the cutting down or burning of all the trees in an area. To avoid starving, these clever animals wander into places where humans live. They steal mangoes and eat farmers' plants. The orangutans are just trying to survive, but many humans see them as pests, like roaches and rats, so they kill the apes, just like they killed Gerhana's mother. Pause and think, what is deforestation? So if you look at the picture up here, you can see the machines, see the big trucks and machines taking all of the trees out. This is deforestation. They cut them down or they burn them down, and in their place, they'll put farms in. They are using that land to make things. Doomed. Gerhana didn't have a very good chance of surviving without his mom. Baby orangutans spend about 7 years learning skills from their mothers. They're taught how to find food, swing through the trees, and build a nest to sleep in. So that's just like us as humans. We need our mothers or someone to help us when we are young. We can't live on our own. So orphans, like Gerhana, are usually doomed. Some starve. Others are caught and sold to private zoos. So an orphan is a children whose parents are dead. No one is sure exactly what happened to Gerhana after his mother died, but he probably stayed by her side. He was only 6 months old and unable to climb trees by himself. All Gerhana could have done was cry out for help. Luckily, help was on the way. Pause and think. Why is life hard for orphans like Gerhana? So Gerhana was just a little baby when his mom died, so it was very hard because he could not feed himself, he couldn't climb the trees, and he couldn't take care of himself. Racing to help. On January 30th, 2018, a farmer found Gerhana in his garden. He called the local authorities. So those are people who have the power to make decisions and make sure people follow rules and laws. So here, when we think of authorities, we think of people like the police. They took Gerhana back to their headquarters. Gerhana needed medical attention fast. He was dangerously underweight. He also had no hair, a sign he wasn't getting enough to eat. The authorities had a plan to save Gerhana. They contacted the Four Paws International Orangutan Forest School. At this amazing place, scientist Seen Prishoft and her staff care for orphaned orangutans. The forest school sent a team to pick up Gerhana. The baby orangutan was terrified for the entire 6-hour ride to the school. But once he was there, the school's caregivers sprang into action. They worked around the clock to feed Gerhana and keep him alive. Pause and think, what was the plan to save Gerhana? So their plan was to get him as fast as they could to the forest school where they knew how to take care of the orangutans. Important skills. As the days went by, Gerhana's strength returned. It was clear that he would survive. So it was time for Gerhana to start his lessons. In the wild, baby orangutans learn by watching and imitating their mothers. So imitating is doing something the same way that someone else does. At the forest school, baby orangutans learn in much the same way. But instead of watching their mothers, they watch the human caregivers. As time goes on, the orangutans are given more time to explore the forest on their own. Once they are ready, they are released back into the wild. This can take 10 years or longer. Pause and think, how does the forest school teach orangutans? So in the wild, the orangutans would watch their mother. At the forest school, they watch humans do the same thing that their mothers would have done. Playful grin. The forest school is saving many orangutans, but the problem is bigger than the school can solve on its own. Orangutans are in danger of dying out. Authorities don't always enforce laws meant to stop deforestation. Enforce means to make sure that somebody is following the laws or the rules. If you want to help orangutans, here's what you can do. Research your favorite foods and brands. Find out if they use palm oil in their products. If they do, rate them. Make sure the palm oil that they use is produced in a way that doesn't harm rainforests. Gerhana, now a 3-year-old with bright red hair, would thank you. The rainforest is his home. He loves to play and is known around the school for his sassy grin. Khrushchev isn't surprised that he's bouncing back. That's typical of orangutans, she says. Gerhana still has a lot to learn, though. Luckily, his many human moms and dads will be helping him every step of the way. Pause and think. What's one thing you can do to help orangutans? You can check the ingredients of your food and make sure that they are getting palm oil from it's produced in a way that doesn't harm rainforests. So why do we need rainforests? The world's rainforests are disappearing. Here's why we have to save them. 39 million acres of rainforests were destroyed in 2017. That's like losing 40 football fields of trees every minute for a whole year. 50% of all plant and animal species on Earth live in the rainforests. And 40% of the air we breathe is produced by trees and plants in the rainforests. So these foods down here are foods that are all produced in rainforests. Sugar, bananas, lemons, and vanilla. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed reading about Gerhana.